Hey everyone, this is the LEGO DC Superheroes Speed Force Freeze Pursuit set. And I'm sure when this was first announced or leaked or otherwise unveiled, it made a lot of fans of the Flash very happy. Because this one single set that appears to have a fairly reasonable, low to medium price comes with both the Flash and Reverse Flash. So without further ado, let me get straight to those figures. Awesome. Yeah, see, I'm not even a Flash fan myself, but I am really happy for Flash fans to be able to get these two figures together like this. This is really nice. Reverse Flash there has the power infuser, energy infuser unit, one of 3 collectible ones for this series, for this wave. You can plug those into Lex Luthor's mech. It's just a simple little thing you can do, but that's a printed piece actually for the cylinder. The regular Flash gets a couple of those Power Blast pieces. I'm glad they haven't retired those because they did introduce a new piece that's similar, but that doesn't actually shoot off the way these do. It's a new color for this season for that piece, just a regular transparent yellow. It looks good, and it's just a really good working action feature because it looks good. You don't have to use the action feature part of it, but if you choose to, it works well. So it's just win-win, good and good. Nice fine printing, nice lines on the regular Flash himself. No dual molding for the helmets here in either case, or for the headgear, but the masking is pretty decent for the single paint application on either side. For each, taking those off, the prints are okay. I think Reverse Flash's print looks a little bit better, a little bit more believable, a little bit more complete with the paint application for the skin tone, because it's against the yellow color. It's actually not a regular yellow, it's an orangish yellow, whereas the Flash on the left really is looking a bit thin just because it has a darker color and you see some of that red through there. So basically he has a pink face. Like, it's a really pink face, almost like a salmon color. And each of these has an alternate face. That's good. I could have gone for a little bit more difference in the expressions for the Flash between those two. Also, you see just a little bit of extra thinness just in the center, almost where a nose would be for the Flash. So just that skin tone ink, I think it is, application that they're putting on, or however that's classified, needs a little bit of work this season. I've seen a number of figures that are just missing. I guess it's not that great on this side either. It's interesting that the Reverse Flash looks so much better just because of what it's applied over. And since we're looking at figures, might as well look at the other two, Cyborg and Killer Frost here. See, Killer Frost has one of those pieces on her left hand, right side of your screen that I was talking about, that's very similar to a Power Blast part, just fits over the hand more completely. Just from any kind of distance, it looks almost the same. So I don't know why they needed to make a new one, but it's no problem. I mean, it looks good. It's good to be able to get different action style pieces in different colors. It's just too bad that one doesn't actually fire off the way the proper Power Blast one will. You've got some metallic actual paint or print on the body of Cyborg, quite a bit of it actually. I think there's a little bit, yeah, a little bit for Killer Frost as well, and you just have to get the light to hit it right to really see that. It's a little bit subtle, but good looking stuff. Obviously you also have this what I call a splat piece. It's like a small, just a comic splat. I mean, that's really what it is. The small version has 2 bars on it, so you can attach something from either side or put it in the hand from either side. They also have this larger version that can only be attached from one side, so it can be held in a hand. The bar is over here, and I think these will just be really good for stop motions and setting up action scenes. They're just really nice pieces. Taking a look underneath, alternate face there. That's a good serious expression. Alternate face there. Yeah, that's a must. That had to be done. I think they've used that exact expression at least a couple times, maybe a few times before, just changing out the colors a little bit. I think that the main expression is fine for Killer Frost. But I mean, it's good. It's a good one. I think that it's appropriate for this figure. And these main faces, I think, are good as well. Yeah, no complaints from me between these two. This helicopter for Cyborg, though, ooh, early on looking at the official pictures of it, I knew I liked the thing, but seeing it in person, I actually like it even more. This is a truly unique design. I haven't seen Lego do anything that looks like this. And the way the canopy is set up there is really, really nice. That fits with not too much gap there. I mean, there's a bunch of gap down here, but just using these kind of lightsaber blade pieces in red helps to fill that up, and it helps to make sense, I would say, out of it. There's a new piece that's used on the front here. If you haven't seen that yet, it's a 1x2, kind of like a plate with hollow studs, but it's rounded around the edges. That's interesting, right? It'll allow you to do some interesting things for custom building, for sure. That's a sticker used on the front that's supposed to represent a heads-up display for Cyborg to see. Not a big fan of that because it's really obvious that you can... I mean, it's really obvious that it's applied from the outside, but the great news is there are only 3 other stickers on this whole craft in total, and you can leave any of them off, and the craft will still look really good. This is a painted dish piece up on the top. It's the bright metallic silver color. Got a little bit of offset to these blades. They're large blades. They feel like they're almost appropriately scaled. Usually Lego makes rotor blades on helicopters that are way, way too small for the size of the chopper itself. Over on this side, you have an old style of net shooter, which is interesting given that they have just introduced a new net shooter piece, an actual dedicated net shooter piece, but this is the old way of doing it with an engine housing. And I think they chose that because they weren't ready to budget for another color for the new piece just yet, but this is fine. I've got no complaints about that. I mean, it's a little bit on the large side, but it's fine. If you want to leave it off, you can easily do so, customize something up in its place. But, you know, this just has a plunger on the back, and you just try to push that quickly, and they work okay. These have been around for a long time. This is a brand new net, though. It's actually round, completely round. It's just a circle. It's interesting. It looks pretty cool, too, if you think of it as being like an energy netting rather than, you know, something traditional. So, you know, energy based rather than mass based. So just a cool looking part. And there's so much detail all around this chopper too. Lots of pieces are attached to it. Some things don't need to be done, but they are to good effect. You see a little bit of blue from that axle pin sticking out where they've attached this painted metallic silver, bright metallic silver colored cone piece. It's a fantail design, and that's a print, that the fan piece itself. The tail looks a little bit square, just the housing for that, but this sticker here really helps with that. I can tell you, it's too bad I didn't take a picture before I put the sticker on, but just that one curved line right there really helps to kind of trick the eyes and to make this look less boxy than it really is. And it looks more boxy, I think, over on this side because of the contrast between just how round that inverted red tile is compared to what's around it. But it's not that bad. I mean, that's to me probably the worst thing of the entire build. Now this here is a pair of stud shooters. You know, you can just fire those off normally, but it can also be removed, and the idea is they let you use that as a weapon for Cyborg. So where is the connection there? It's just a couple of clips. Yeah, so he can actually hold on to that. I'll show you that in just a second, but I just wanted to open up the cockpit here as well. Just swings way forward, really easy to get him in and out. He does lean back more than I like to see, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. What I really like that they've done in the interior is this whole long stripe of red. That really just makes it look more luxurious to me for some reason. I like that. I like how it continues all the way up. It just helps to finish the interior. You know, he doesn't have any console or any control sticks to look at in front of him. He just has that heads-up display is the idea there. But overall execution on this whole set, I think, looks really good. The skids, you know, are individually attached, and what they suggest that you do with the dual stud shooter subassembly is use it as a shoulder launcher system for Cyborg. Now, obviously, this is way too big and heavy for him to hold just on the ground normally. He's always going to fall over, but on any kind of studded base, he'll be able to stand up, and that looks pretty cool. I think it scales decently well to him. It's not unusual for him to have a ridiculous sized weapon. So yeah, this is a nice little thing to be able to detach it and continue to use it. And then here's Killer Frost's car. By comparison, relative to the helicopter, this looks like a junior's build to me. It's it's just not up to par. Now, for play, this is good because it has the 2 stud shooters that fire off towards the air, so it's specifically designed to work against air targets. You can also angle this up even more, but this will also work as kind of a mortar, just fires projectiles up pretty high. They will eventually come back down to the ground, so that's not a big deal. Plus, it also has this dozer blade on the front that can be used to, take you through some snowy areas. It's too bad they don't give you like some white stud pieces to kind of sprinkle around to represent areas that have been all frosted over, but this kind of works. It doesn't stay completely flat on the ground, but you can angle it to either side, so that's okay. It's supposed to be the engines over here. It's just more blocky looking on the other side, a little bit simple. This is supposed to represent the actual blast coming out, whereas these are the ones that are designed for play. It's also a new piece for this year, for this season. And her driving compartment over there is super simple. Obviously, it just has the steering wheel there. But with respect to these blasts, like this here and this here, in addition to these large ones, they also include a couple of small ones in the set with some extra pieces, including another one of that piece, right? And the idea here is that you attach it underneath her feet so she can use them to propel herself if she wants to. You can also start taking stuff apart and rearranging the pieces and using them in different ways to create a blast like that. Or you can also, this is one that they suggest on the box actually, you can use the big blast in front of the little one to kind of simulate a little bit of extra 3-dimensional action and like a growing frost blast coming out. I don't know the proper terms of her attacks, but here's another one that you can do that's small and more focused and refined. But you can also just do this. Now that makes a lot more sense. Just see that as being one of her icicles, kind of like a spear, an ice spear that you can fire off. So they include 2 of that piece with the swirl around it, bar with the swirl. You can use those however you choose. They include 2 of these small hand blasts, if you will, in total, plus the 2 of these, plus the 2 larger ones. So, you can mix and match and start to really do custom stuff. You want to make a large icicle blast, just take one of the pieces from her car. These are really nice tools for imaginative play, for stop motion, I think, and for just display, setting up a little kind of freeze frame scene. So in all, this I think is great. The minifig selection is great. I personally love the helicopter. I think the car looks kind of silly and very plain for the line, very, very juniors-ish, but at least it plays pretty well. All these burst, blast, splat type of pieces are really useful. I look forward to a continued expansion of the potential accessories for figures to use. Oh yeah, I didn't even show that piece off the other side. Don't even know what that represents from the chopper. Another thing that you can use in the other hand of Cyborg. So yeah, lots of good play value here. Lots of good display value even. Sweet. Lots of good stuff here. Really nothing bad. Minimal kind of neutral to mediocre stuff. I'm just really, really happy for DC fans. I feel like LEGO has really done something nice for you. So that does it for my thoughts about this set. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm going to keep working. Lots more reviews to bring you. Talk to you again soon.